Morning, everybody. I'm Chris, and this is Northgarden Comics. I'm coming to you early on Monday morning, August 3rd. This is day 3 of this comic book vlogging adventure that we're calling Vlogust. And haven't started my work yet, but I wanted to show you a little bit of kind of my daily routine, if you will, and how I kind of get things started as it pertains to comic books. So I'm gonna flip the camera around here and show you something. There are two things I want to show you here. First, my coffee mug. Fat Nat's Eggs is what we're drinking out of today. Fun diner style mug. If I turn it around here, you can see their logo on the side. This is a mug that Nicole picked up for me at the Goodwill Outlets bins, so it was super duper cheap. But then also, she didn't know this at the time, but this makes it extra cool. Fat Nat's Eggs is a diner style little restaurant in a storefront, but it's located immediately next door to a comic book store here in the Twin Cities called Hot Comics and Collectibles. They have like 3 different locations, and this is right next door to their main location. I've never eaten there, but I've heard good things about it, and it smells good when you walk by. So just a fun little, it's a diner style mug, and you wouldn't think by looking at it, but there is a neat little comic connection there. So that's one thing. Second thing I wanted to show you is just some of I've got the internet open here on my iPad to show you. One of the things I do each morning is I go to this website here, Nucadia.com. They are an online comic book retailer. I've never bought anything from them. I've perused their catalogs before and done some kind of virtual window shopping there, but I've never bought anything. The biggest reason for that is because my sweet spot for buying back issues is the $1 and $2 bins. You can see they do show they have a section for like 90% off clearance, but most of the books in there are more obscure and nothing that I'm collecting. So like I said, never pulled the trigger and bought anything. If you've ever had any experience with Nucadia, let me know down below in the comments. The reason I come here though, and I'll share with you, is, see down here it says win a gift card. I am entered, because there's no purchase necessary, to enter to win a gift card. They do a drawing every day and select 10 names at random, and these 10 people will win a $100 gift card. And you can see here, it doesn't show all your information, so it protects your privacy. But yeah, I check that every day. It takes all of like 5 seconds. I know it's probably a pipe dream and I'll never win. It's like playing the lottery, right? But there's no cost involved. And the entrants for this are global. So you can see Canada on here. You got pretty much everything else in the US, but I've seen countries all over the world. So who knows how many people are entered in this drawing. But like I said, it doesn't cost me anything and takes like 5 seconds every morning to check that. And if I do ever win, you'll be sure that I'll make a video about it, and then maybe I'll use that opportunity. Instead of buying $1 and $2 books, maybe I would, use that quote free $100 to buy a bigger book, something up to that $100 mark. So we'll see. That's something fun I wanted to share with you. While I'm here, might as well go ahead and show you some of the tabs that I have online here. I keep pretty standard, just to run through them real quick. So you got NASA Live. That actually I have because on Friday I watched the launch of the Mars rover Perseverance. I watched that live online. That was great to see. Love all things space, exploration, astronomy. Just the sheer size of our solar system, galaxy, universe just blows me away. So love reading about and learning about those things. And it gives you a real appreciation for, how do I want to say this, how long science takes and how slow it is. We watch movies and everything moves really fast, but they were talking during this live stream that they needed to, plan for a mission where they can bring some of the samples back that these rovers are collecting. And their plans for that are, yeah, we're planning for a 2026 launch. And I'm thinking, holy crap, that's 6 years from now. So it really makes you appreciate how long it takes to do things and how much investment each of these scientists put into, and how little fruit they may actually see during the lifetime of their career. And that if you're, a scientist in right place, right time, you might get to see some of these really cool discoveries, but it takes so many people and so much time to get to that point where the really cool discoveries are made. So that's one thing. Other things on here, just to run through, got CBR.com, which is a website where I'll read different comic, movie, TV, other, kind of geek pop culture related articles. Got CLZ Comic Connect. That's where I keep my database of my entire comic collection and my wish list. DCBS here in the center, where I do some pre-ordering of new books each month. YouTube Studio, where I just check out some of the stats around my channel. Here's mycomicshop.com, another very popular place to buy back issues. I recently learned that they also do pre-orders. I saw that on another YouTuber's channel, GENOthaDRAGON. I'll put a link to his channel down below. He and I seem to have very similar tastes when it comes to back issues and things and the types of things he's looking for, so I enjoy watching his videos. So give him a try and watch some of his content. He's got some cool stuff. But he orders or pre-orders some books through mycomicshop.com, and so I was checking that out recently just to kind of compare these two pre-order services to see just how they're similar, how they're different, because I've been using DCBS for about 4 years now. And then lastly here we got, this is tformers.com. It's just a Transformers news website. They do a lot of toy related news. It's toy heavy, but they do have comic related information as well, so I'll check that out. And then lastly, there's Previews World, where I'll just look for, you know, what are those new things coming out this week and maybe the following week. So yeah, if you've got comic related websites or, you know, other sources of information you go to get all your news or information about new things coming, let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear about those, because always enjoy not only reading comics, but reading online about comics and comic related content. One other thing I wanted to show you, which I like to show these off when I can. Let me move my coffee here, hopefully without spilling it. All right, these are coasters that Nicole, my wife, Nicole Northgarden, made for me and gave to me as a gift for Christmas a couple years ago. They started out, they were just regular coasters. You got a little cork on the bottom there. She painted them black, and then, you know, she knows characters that I like, and she didn't take any of the books out of my current collection, thankfully. None of my books had to be sacrificed for this, but Nicole did go to a comic shop. She found a copy of X Factor 73, as you can see here, and then basically just went through it and found some of the images that she thought were cool and cut them out, Mod Podged them on there, and turned them into really cool comic-themed coasters for me. I really like this one because I love that corner box art and the number there. So yeah, as often as I have coffee down here in my comic book room, which is often, I will be using my coasters. So again, just wanted to show those off to you. I'm gonna say good evening, because since that last segment you saw, that was Monday morning on August 3rd. Fast forward now, it's Tuesday evening on August 4th. Yes? Yes. And so it just goes to show you, I'm going to keep these vlogs real, and if there's nothing comic book related going on, I'm not going to make something up. I'll just show you what's there. So you may get some gaps and little fast forwards, and we may condense and do multiple days in one vlog post. I'm going to re-grip here so I don't make too many noises. I notice every time you shift your hand on the camera holding the phone, you'd think that's silent, but that picks up real sensitively on the mic, so I want to keep that kind of annoying little sounds to a minimum if I can for you. As I said, it's Tuesday evening. I did find something. I mentioned this in one of the earlier, I think it was the day 2 vlog post, where I showed my Transformers collection from when I was a kid. I mentioned that there was something I had brought inside, and I found it as I was just kind of cleaning up here tonight. So I'm going to flip the camera around and let me show this to you. All right, this is a big Ziploc bag of, I mentioned tech specs earlier. This is one of the pieces of a Transformers box that I would save all the time. If I could, oop. All right, so what this is, on the back of either the the blister pack that the Transformer came in, or if it was a box, on the back there you'd have what was called a tech spec, and it would give you, in this case, it shows you like this right here. This was from an Autobot. Looks like a team there from the Off-Road Patrol. Tells you their function, in this case covert activities, and there'll usually be a quote from that character Don't follow orders, follow instincts. And then it's got a whole description of what that, in this case, team does. Now over here, this is the tech specs. And you can kind of see what it gives you already across the top there, ranking on a scale of 1 to 10, teamwork, cooperation, strength, endurance, speed, intelligence, courage, skill. But what the box would come with is this red. It's kind of fun. And you would just set this over the little grid there, get rid of the glare, and then, aha, there's the little line chart showing you where this team falls on each of those measurements. And of course, you know, you get, I don't know if I have anybody really classic and cool in this box here. These seem to be some of the newer, relatively speaking, these were newer back in the, you know, 80s, 90s kind of era. And usually you could tell them Decepticons were generally purple, Autobots were generally marked with that red bar across the top. Ruckus, Snaptrap, one of the Seacons, Barrage, that's one of the Insecticons I think I came across yesterday. Skyhopper. This is a later tech spec, obviously not quite as cool because you don't even need that little piece of red. You don't need the filter to be able to read it. You just see it in color, which I get, you know, it's probably a cost savings measure. But I saved, like I said, I saved everything, or just about everything. So I have many of those little red little readers. Here's another one. I kind of got away from the old style tech specs. But yeah, thought I'd show you those. And then the other thing that I mentioned was that I kept a notebook. Here it is, spiral bound 3-subject notebook. I didn't fill every page of this. And you'll see on this too, evidence of the fire. So soot gets on everything. You see, just from touching the paper. I get that on myself there. But all right, you ready for a time warp here? You know, if you're a child of the 80s, you will recognize some of these things. If you're not, I'm gonna have to educate you on what the, you know, old-timey folks had. So this right here, Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. I did this on my computer, which was not in every household at the time. You know, but when we finally got a computer, that was cool. You know, very computer-like font that I got to use. And printed these out. Oh, Transformers the movie. I don't know what I made these for. But, here, what do you get into here? This, I'm not going to be able to open this whole thing up, I don't think. But this was done, yes, on a dot matrix printer. And I did this. This was lots of sheets. Transformers, did it go more than meets the eye? Oh my gosh, it did, didn't it? Look at that. More than meets. I should be gentle with this. This has not been unfolded like this probably since, you know, 1984. More than meets the eye. Yeah, printed that whole thing out. And dot matrix, because everything's just little dots. And you got this paper on the side. These little edges are perforated, and you would tear those off. But that's how the little wheels inside the printer would kind of feed the paper through. So super cool. I got some stickers. You can see some have fallen off. Sky warp, strike when the enemy isn't looking. And thrust. My engines roar and my enemy's song. Oh, my engine's roar is my enemy's song of doom. Sorry, there was a little bit of a glare there. So yeah, that's a flashback. These are more of those stickers, but the adhesive has worn off, so make sure I don't lose those. But here's some of the lists that I told you about. So this is Transformers that I have. Look at that, from September 15th, 1984. And that, of course, is all the soot there. And I mentioned all the different checklists that came out. So from the first list, those were the guys that I had. And there's from the second list, third list. So those were Transformers that I had. And these were Transformers that I need. What is this? Oh, that was the continuation. And the fourth list, oh my gosh. Lots of checklists. But I ate those things up. They were fantastic. Here are Transformers that I needed from the first, second list continued there. Third list, Fort Max. And I would start to scratch them off when I got them, I guess, and transfer them onto the list that when we switched to a system of highlighters, and
have, and then have, but name seen on previous list. Okay. This was an update. This was, wow, this, is that 89? Could that really be 89? I don't think so. Maybe it was, who knows. But yeah, so I kept a lot of lists. And so, you know, I was a collector from a very young age. Fifth list, we get into the Pretenders. That's almost when they started to move away almost from transformations. It was a very minor transformation that the robot would do, but he was inside of a very humanoid looking shell. That was part of the disguise. Yeah, see, a lot of these didn't have, oh, you get to the next section. This is where I had a lot of the tech specs. So there's Grapple. These are some of the Gen 1 characters. I'm not sure how I decided what pages would be blank or not. One of the Dinobots, Swoop, Roadbuster, Cosmos, Warpath, Power Glide, some of those kind of the mini. You got Bumblebee, Beachcomber, Sea Spray. So yeah, so I put a lot of these. I had Jetfire, Perceptor, Blaster, Omega Supreme, and it goes on. And then I think I go into the Decepticons at some point. There's some of the characters from the movie. Yeah, so definitely got the most out of those toys, both in transforming them, setting them up, organizing all the things that came with them. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to show you. Hopefully you enjoyed some of that. All right, with that, I think we're going to call this vlog segment done and wrap up, you know, showing you the extra things from that Transformers collection from the other day. And this will wind up being called, what, days 3 and 4 in Vlogust, because if there's not a lot of stuff, I don't want to put too short a video out there. I'll just kind of squish things together, consolidate, and put multiple days together. But I will close by saying, if you like content like this, comic-related content. Normally I'm showing comic book hauls, new comic books. I love to collect back issues, fill in runs, things like that, and I definitely have a good amount of that to show you even in this month of Vlogust, so we'll definitely get to those. But if you like that kind of content, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. Love to be able to connect with other people who share a love for collecting comic books. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.